Greetings from Agimi Art Center. We are here for Tirana European Youth Film Festival podcast powered by Almanart. We will have some talks and conversations with different directors, actors, and producers of the film scene competition. Today we are with Ivan Marinović, the representative and the director of the movie Forever Hold Your Peace from Montenegro, that was the opening movie of the festival. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
For the first question, how do you combine humor and drama in this story?
Clumsily. I don't know. I mean, it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing because when you're doing it, you know that you are playing with the expectations of the audience. I think the line of what's funny and what's a drama depends on how much empathy you feel towards your characters, you know. And in both of my films and in this one especially, I sort of wanted everybody to be in the shoes of the protagonists, you know. So it becomes kind of tricky because people come with the expectations to see a comedy, and they don't have the expectations that they're gonna feel so much involved in the destinies of these people. So it's all about this distance. Right, like if you feel for them, it's more of a drama, and if you're distant, if you laugh at them, it's a comedy.
It was such a nice answer by your side. What elements of the Montenegrin culture are reflected, and what you wanted to show in this film?
I didn't think as much about Montenegrin culture. I rooted the story in the region where I'm from, in the Bay of Kotor, in this peninsula, which is called Luštica and Herceg-Novi, the town. That's where I'm from, and that's where I draw my inspiration from. So I just wanted it to be authentic for that space, but I was actually more thinking about my generation than my culture. I think the way we make our decisions, it's much more different than what our parents used to do. You know, when you need to make a decision about marriage and family, they used to do it in their 20s, and we are doing it after we're 30, when we are finished some high schools or academy or whatever. And so it's not the same, you know. When you have 10 years more, you have 10 years more of experience, both in love and work and education, you know, and then you're supposed to make such a big decision. And I realized that most of my friends are waiting, you know, we are talking about it a lot. I realized there's something there to explore. So when I was approaching my decisions about marriage, this story became more and more relevant, you know, for me. So that was kind of the idea. And sure, I involved a lot of stories from the region. All the crazy stuff that you see in the film happened to my grandfather, you know. So those are little things, little anecdotes that I was growing up with. But yeah, mainly the issue was to explore why am I so confused about these decisions.
Oh, it was nice. It was such a personal thought about that. But how did the locals in Montenegro react when they first saw the movie?
They enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a beautiful premiere in local. And you know, I have also, my first film was done there, so I had an experience to compare. You know, my first film is about a funeral, and it's a little bit different, also funny, also humorous, but in a different rhythm and kind of less laugh out loud scenes, you know. So I know how does the local audience reflect on a local film, but this one was so involving for them emotionally. It was an electrifying experience, and I learned a lot about how. Also, I learned a lot about technical things. I think for comedy, it's great if you manage to play a comedy in a space which is not a multiplex, because multiplex sort of sucks in all the sound from your peers around you. You don't hear the audience. You just hear like a ring of few people around you, because it's designed for immersive experience in sound design. And for a comedy, it's important that you hear everybody around you, to hear how they breathe, what they gasp at, what they laugh at. And then there's this wonderful accumulation of experience that happens in such spaces. And I was lucky that the film locally premiered in such space, and it was really, really amazing, because when they laugh, it's an explosion of laughter. But yeah, and also when it's relevant, when they get attached to the bride and her kind of perspective of the whole thing, you can feel that their perspective is shifted into a very dramatic position.
Yeah, you can feel it through the movie. I hope you have heard also in here people laughing at some moments of the
but
comedy.
Also for me, it's a film, that. By now, I've managed to experience it with the different audiences, and it's very funny the way the men perceive it and the girls perceive it. It's very different. For me, it was very important to put everybody in the position of the bride throughout the funeral. That's a Freudian slip. Throughout the wedding, it was a very interesting thing for me to do, because I think men manage to kind of see themselves in their aggression and violence, even when it's such a joyful event, So I could also feel with them that, oh my God, we're not like this, are we? You get that kind of feedback, and so yeah, it was. I think it's very nice to talk with people about it. I also had a funny experience that women, depending on their experience, perceive this film very differently. Like younger women, they look at it from the position of ideology and kind of what they...
Feminism.
But not feminism.
Kind of.
It's not I think it's a very feministic film.
Yeah.
I think it's more about what they expect from it in terms of a message and kind of this kind of dogmatic, individualistic message, which I don't care about. For me, it's more about opening the question and talking about why is this difficult. But the older women who have family and kids, they love it because they feel seen, they feel validated, emotionally.
And as the last question, which is the moment that you can identify from the film that is more personally connected? You kind of said something, but if you can elaborate more.
There's a lot of personal stuff in the film, and especially because the old guy in the story is really my grandfather. And he's really that, and so it was playing with the memory of my grandfather. I was kind of also learning about him while making this film, even though if it's kind of funny and he does all these crazy things. The scene in the ending when he leaves, because the son and the bride, they're leaving to live on their own. That's something that happened in my family, and that's something that I heard as a story, as a very emotional reaction that he had, which was kind of silly. So it was personal because I was thinking a lot about his emotional experiences. These men of this generation, they wasted all their nerves. So by the end of their life, they come to this super fragile position in which they cannot handle their emotions anymore. So, the scene in the end when she comes to him and he just says nothing and sits by the fire, that was extremely difficult for me to shoot. I was crying while shooting it because just the resonance, emotional resonance of that moment was something very powerful for me.
Oh, thank you for sharing this kind of story. It was very nice to hear that it had a lot of personal, even family involved. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the interview, and I hope you will enjoy some days in Tirana. Also, good luck with the competition in Tirana European Youth Film Festival.
Thank you so much.